Hello, friends, and welcome to my not Let's Play, speed build of a house in The Sims 4. This is actually my first speed build that I've ever done, so I hope that it's good. It's kind of like, it started off as a bit of a more modern house, at least that's what I was going into it wanting to make, but then it kind of turned into a cute house. I don't really know how to explain it. So it's like a mix of a cute and modern house. That's kind of just how it turned out. Once I got into this is the family room area. So once I got into the family room area, it just kind of became more cute than modern. I tried to stick to still the modern theme, but didn't really work out as well as I had hoped. Drapes are really hard, apparently. I did not know this. Until The Sims 4, I actually, never put drapes in. In The Sims 2, I kind of put drapes in. The Sims 3, I didn't really play too much, but once I got to The Sims 4, I was like, you know what? Yeah, we need to make houses real. Here we're just putting some windows. I tried to do a bit of a funky pattern with the windows. That's kind of where I felt that the modern feel actually stayed there, but I don't know. I'm not really good with windows, at all. I'm very OCD with windows, so they always have to be in, two spaces, and then, one space on either side of them, and, I get that with the door, too. Everything just needs to be very even, and I always have trouble with that, so I decided I didn't really like any, I like some of the windows in this game, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of them aren't as nice as I would like them to be, or they don't always fit well with the house, so I decided to do a bit of a funky pattern with, all the rooms and the windows. I wanted to use more of those, blocky shapes, very, I don't think I really used any square ones, but very rectangular. I felt like it looked really nice. I was just really into it. In the kitchen, I tried to make it a bit of a smaller kitchen. It's kind of a small house, but not really. But, the kitchen, I like the half wall. I'm in love with half walls. So I tried to make it very, nice and quaint and cute. There's, decorations up, and I don't know, I just tried to make it nice. On the porch area, I tried to make it also really cute. I just put that one porch chair that I always put, but then I switched it to this one because I felt like it mixed better with the colors of the house. I also ended up putting a bunch of plants around. I love the way that plants look. When I was previous houses, I never actually did a lot of landscaping, but again, in The Sims 4, it just brought out my landscaping abilities, I guess I could say. It's still not, 100% perfect, but here, you're gonna see me make this room and then delete it, 6 times. I got really stuck when I got to here. I had no idea what I wanted to build, at all. I was I almost, didn't know what else to build. It felt like it was such an awkward space to be building into, but I'm really bad with roofs. They are my downfall in The Sims. They always have been, they always will be. So I wanted to stick to more of a square, even though it's kind of boring. I figured that would just be really easy on the roof. So eventually I came up with the idea that I just kind of figured what I was going to put. I actually cycled through rooms. I forgot what other rooms that I needed to even put in there. But then eventually I figured it out. So yeah, again, trying to make the windows all fancy. I actually liked how the windows turned out in this house. I'm actually a really big fan of them. And then I wanted to put in that tub, but the tub really did not end up fitting at all. The first sink that I put in there, that black and white one that had the towels underneath, I loved the way it looked, but again, it just didn't fit. Here I'm trying to get a little fancy with the lights, as you can see, but it didn't end up looking right, so I just ended up putting the top light to make it brighter in the room. I've noticed that a lot of problems with The Sims is that, in this game and in other games, I end up putting lamps everywhere. Not because I feel like I need it, but because I can't see when I'm decorating. And I've noticed it more in this game than I have in the other games. I just have a really big problem, seeing what I'm doing. And especially before, or maybe actually, sorry, it happens in the bedroom. And I think I did it in the family room even. I actually don't like putting in furniture before I put the wallpaper and the flooring down. That's just what I do first, because I feel like that really sets the mood for the room. So as you'll see here, I actually knock out one of the walls so that I have the sun come in so that I can actually see what colors I'm actually doing. But, like, yeah, there you see, and then I have to go back and, like, redo the wall and put the wallpaper all over again. Yeah, putting in drapes again, because I got drape crazy, apparently. But I think the drapes actually looked really cute in this house. I tried really hard. The kitchen I had a big problem with because I was trying to be realistic with it, but at the same time find something that looked nice, and I just ended up going with those, like, blinds instead of actual drapes. So I think it still looked nice. And then, yeah, I ended up using the drape instead in the bedroom. I feel like it just kind of fit nice with it. Here I had a lot of problems, because I was like, you know what, everything in this house has been blue, so I almost didn't want to make the bedroom blue, but then none of the other colors I felt looked nice with the room, and it was already, like, I had a bunch of problems with the wallpaper in the bedroom, because I was like, I want it to be something cute and quaint, because I figured that like, an artsy person was gonna live here. I don't know why, it's just kind of how I envisioned it in my head. So then I was like, you know, I want the bedroom to be all, like, nice and artsy, and, like, I started out with, like, a Tumblr almost vision in my head, but that didn't end up what happened, so it just kind of came out like this. I knew that I wanted to put something on the nightstands, because I always feel like I leave the nightstands bland, and that's just not fun, you know? So, like, there has to be something on the nightstand. So, this is what I ended up putting. I love that lamp. That lamp is, like, my favorite lamp in this entire game. It's just so cute. Like, if I had a bedroom, I have a bedroom, I swear. If I could find that lamp in, like, real life, I would totally hang that right above my bed. It's just so adorable. And then, yeah, here, again, I figured, like, an artsy person, like a girl is what I envisioned in my head, because I always seem to envision girls when I'm making houses. I figured that, like, you know, dresser, because it's kind of like more her vanity dresser-ish type area, so I wanted to put, like, I put some nail polish out there and a brush and, like, you know, just stuff to make it look like it's lived in. That's my favorite thing in The Sims 4. I don't remember if they had it in The Sims 3 or not. I can't really remember back, but they have that clutter option, and, like, that is my favorite thing to use. And then again, I had trouble with the wallpaper, so I just kind of used the same wallpaper as in the family room. I figured that once I go back to it, going back to the drapes, like always, I figured that room that has the gray wallpaper in it would be kind of like a skills room. So I figured that it would just, I couldn't think of, like, any type of wallpaper to use for it, so I just ended up putting in the gray wallpaper. And then here, I actually liked how that diagonal looked, the, like, diagonal in the windows, but part of me loved the way it looked, and then part of me was like, you know what, no, I want to go with something more simple, and then I ended up putting in these rectangle windows. Sorry, I can't speak. I also don't know if I'm speaking too fast, but, you know, whatever. I ended up putting in those rectangular windows, and I actually kind of fell in love with the way it looked, so. And then here I'm just putting in, you know, the stuff for the skills room, I guess I'm gonna call it. There's actually one lamp that I wanted to put in there, but it's a, custom content lamp, and I'm, like, in love with the way it looks, but I had downloaded another custom content after it, and then ever since then I've been having this problem where I try to put custom content items into my houses, and it keeps saying that the call script failed or something like that. So if anybody knows a way how to fix that, I would actually greatly appreciate it, because I tried Googling it and I couldn't find out how to fix it at all. But yeah, here's just kind of putting in, I loved those chairs, and as you saw before, I tried to put them in the family room, but it really didn't end up working very nicely. I felt like it just looked too cluttered and unrealistic, so I just decided to, oh, here it is, sorry, here it is, me trying to put them in. But I feel like it just looked too cluttered, so I just kind of scrapped the idea. And instead, here you see me putting in that board game table thing. I want to say it's Don't Call the Llama, but I'm not actually even sure if that's the right board game or not. And then I decided that with the backyard, I also wanted to have that, like, porch feeling to it, because recently I've been, like, crazy about porch looks, and I just think they're so cute. So I decided to throw one in there as well. And I got this Envision. Actually, I changed this up. This is what I originally started going for. It was, like, you know, that backyard that has, like, the grill and the table, and, like, you're having a bunch of cookouts back there and stuff like that. But then I saw this bar that has the lights on it, and I was like, oh, the lights are so cute. And I don't know, it just kind of changed the idea in my head completely. So I decided to throw that and the grill on the porch, move the table down, and then I added in the chess table, and, like, here I'm putting in the pool. And here's me trying to find the block in the center, because like everything has to be completely like the way that I want it and very even. I'm very like OCD with The Sims. So, and then I decided to throw in the pool changing color thing, because I never change the colors of my pool. So why not, whatever. And then I've kind of been obsessed with like paths, this like stone path. I'm in love with it. So here's me attempting the roof. I'm very bad with the roofs, like I said. So I just kind of tried to go for something really simple. I find that when I do the roofs, they always intersect each other and it never looks completely right. But then I was just kind of like, you know what, this looks nice, so I'm not going to fidget with anymore. And then here's me, doing the landscaping and everything. I think it actually turned out really nice. I tried in The Sims 2. I didn't really play The Sims 3 that much. Like, I played it for a while, but not as much as The Sims 2. I was, like, in love with The Sims 2. And I never really did a lot of landscaping in The Sims 2. I always tried to, and I added, like, plants everywhere and stuff like that, but it never seemed to turn out nice. Not like that it turned out bad, but it never turned out exactly how I imagined. But then in The Sims 4, I actually got, like, crazy into landscaping. I don't know why. It's just, like, I started playing and I was like, you know what, this is going to work out perfectly for me. So here's me attempting to try and do landscaping. In the end, I actually really liked how the landscaping turned out, but it kind of took a lot of trial and error to try and find out what would be cute and what just looked like it was too much. I ended up putting these rocks here. This is actually what I did in a house prior to this house, and I loved the way that it looked. I did a whole entire like rock path with the stone terrain, and it looked so cute. And then I added the stone terrain in the back again to just kind of keep it uniform, where it's like that cute look without being too much. Here are my pictures. I found out that taking pictures are extremely hard, so excuse the like awkward angles if there are any, especially in the rooms. The rooms were the hardest because I tried to keep the walls up to like, make it, you could see the whole entire room, but then the rooms were really small, so it just became really difficult. But, yeah, like, here's the family room. The family room and the kitchen were probably the easiest because they were just a larger room. But then, here's this angle. I don't know. I thought it was cute because you didn't see the kitchen table before. The bedroom is probably the bedroom and the bathroom are probably the hardest ones to get pictures of. So you're going to have to excuse the weird angles, like this angle. This angle was really weird, but I couldn't find a way to get that side of the room without cutting into the wall. And then here's like that skill area that I was talking about. I thought it turned out really nice. And then the bathroom. The bathroom has kind of weird angles, but you know what, whatever. Anyway, this was my build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.